get any money from Costello?
No.
And did you ever get any money from Meyer Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
None
fellas?
of those fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, or none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Fichettes?
No.
You
I
think-
don't even speak to the... I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him.
You don't like him?
I was conscious of the fact that he had a reputation for being an outstanding bookmaker.
You ever hear him referred to as the Prime Minister of the Underworld?
That term I did not.
You're also known as Duck Perella.
I refuse to answer on the grounds of made attempt to
Got any business?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of attempt to criminal.
You have any profession?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of made attempt
Have any occupation?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of made attempt
Are you a known racketeer?
Good evening. Welcome to Interrogation, our Wednesday night show where myself and Jason tonight, and we have a couple of others, Lamar and Lucian, that typically join us. I don't think they're going to join us tonight. We kind of run down real police interrogation videos and point out the tactics used, whether we agree with them or don't agree with them. It's opinions. Take it for what it is. But we have a good time doing it. And we are live on Rumble, YouTube, and X. Anybody wants to make a comment, the comments are live. Feel free to do so. We're going to get into it. We have complete 2-hour video tonight, Jason, that we're going to get into. It's a murder of a 55-year-old man in a neighborhood. They kind of start looking at maybe some suspects. I think he was a widower. Whichever it is for the man. So he lived alone, so there wasn't anybody close to him. But folks, when we're talking about police investigations, we start with the people that are closest to you and work our way out. Typically, most people are victims of unlawful homicide or murder by people that they know, people that are near them. But in this investigation, Jason, they work them out and they get to the next door neighbor, and he starts ringing some bells, and they bring him in on interrogation. And this is what we're going to see on the side of Florida, I believe. But unless you have something, I'm sorry, sir. I'm gonna give you a chance to introduce yourself. Jason, he's our he stands on the law enforcement side with me when we watch these shows. But good evening, Jason, and thanks for showing.
Yeah, these are fun. I guess let's just get into it.
All right, let's do it.
My name's Investigator Alvarez, Sergeant Martins. All right, man, since you're here, obviously, we're in a lock building and all that kind of jazz. I gotta read you your rights before I speak to you, okay? Before we ask you questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used as evidence against you in court. You have the right to have a lawyer present while being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer will be appointed for you without cost before questioning. If you wish to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you'll still have the right to stop answering questions at any time. Do you understand those rights as I've read them to you? Okay, perfect. This isn't, like I said, any admittance of guilt, nothing like that kind of crap. Yeah, it's going to go through on this. If you don't mind just signing your name right there, just stating that I read it to you, okay? And signature there. Yeah, it was print and signature. You can do vice versa, it don't matter. Also, this picture,
32, 45.
And what are they, real thick lenses?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here, what else are we doing? So you said you lived over there for about, what, 2-3 years, since 2016?
2016.
And how many times when you're out there, like I said, you get to know all the neighbors pretty well? Do you know all of them pretty well?
No, Charles, and then the guy across the street from Charles, the one that came out, the big guy. I don't know if you saw him. My wife and him got into, he had a dog that kept attacking our kids, so we kept calling.
Okay, like I said, this interview was 2+ hours, so I've sped some of this up, and I'll abbreviate for you. Look, and Jason, if you'll agree with me or not, it looks like they brought him in, they papered him up so that anything he says can, it'd be admissible for any evidence and to proceed in the investigation. Then they jump right into talking about your kids. One kid's got a little pacemaker, got a little issue there. The other kid's got thick glasses. So they go through that. Now he's going through, well, how long have you worked there? And there's a lot of small talk. Is this a tactic, or are they just trying to feel him out? What do you think about this?
No, this is definitely a tactic. You never start off an interview with just jumping right into stuff. You're establishing trust, a relationship as quick as you can, and trying to make them comfortable with you. Most interviews I've done, small talk and just letting him get to know you, that I'm your friend. I'm not here to jam you up. Just try to get him relaxed, and it'll build later on, but that's very common.
Right. It's essentially you're teaching them how to talk. That we're talking now, so we're having a conversation. This conversation is going to go in places you may be uncomfortable with later on. But I agree, and he laid down quite a bit of talk training here. So I've sped this up a little bit. Let's get through that, and then I think we'll see the tone change.
When y'all came out, and finally they got the dog gone, and then we know Miss Renee, which is the next one. And then Cassie, and then Greg, the one you talked to. My wife and his wife. She does some cleaning for him. She has an Airbnb house. Okay. And then Miss Allie on the corner. But that's it. I mean, we just stayed at the house.
What about the neighbors of the dog? You're saying you had any issues with them? Other than the dog incident?
Other than the guy that had the dog yelled because we kept calling the cops. He kept saying, well, your dog's attacking our kids and chasing people down the sidewalk. And I guess he got fined and really got mad.
What kind of dog was it? Because I know they had a dog over there. I didn't know if it was
It's a brown dog. I haven't seen it in a long, long time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. What's their relationship, by the way, across the street? The two men that live there?
They rent. Whoever owns the house is renting rooms to the other people there.
Okay. So there's multiple people.
Yeah.
Okay. And the gentleman you said that you clean their air.
Greg.
Yeah. The rental house, basically. Do you ever hang out with him, or you just talk to him in passing and stuff like that?
My wife talks to him. That's about it. They kind of sleep during the day and they're up all night.
I'm gonna let this run while it's going fast. It's hard to hear this in the first place.
Yeah,
and the only reason I put this in is that it shows how the conversation's exchanging between the investigator and the subject. The subject, and this is not one of those cases where they've got 10 witnesses say we saw you do it. So I would think that this guy's going in, going to do his role like he's just any other neighbor and giving it. I don't know that he hasn't realized yet that he's a prime suspect.
Child friendly. The lady, I'll bring her tomorrow. The lady brought a kennel, brought everything. And my wife, 2 days later, she said, I thought you said this dog was kid friendly. And the lady never responded. So the lady was like, see you later.
Yeah. I mean, we should reach out, I guess, try to find somebody. A lot of times we just dump them off at the animal shelters. And then, meanwhile, they're already overfilled. I'm not sure if you've ever been to a shelter. Yeah.
Our dog disappeared. We had a little bitty, he was, call him, his name was...
Hey, Rude, I see your comment there. Is it the audio from the video that's difficult to hear, or is it myself or Jason? Just throw a comment up and I'll adjust accordingly.
Always crap what you're saying.
He got in the backyard with a big dog.
Yeah, but you never know. Like I said, he could be happy in another house, But how long have you known Charles for?
We met him a little bit after we moved in. We talked to him a couple of times, but then we didn't really start talking to him until his wife left him. And he came over, and my wife's...
I'm sorry, when did his wife leave, by the way?
A year and a half ago.
Okay.
And his sister, Crystal, will be able to tell you everything, like the exact dates, but, when you said he had strokes, after she left him, she went to Texas and took everything. He came over and was talking to Jared that was staying with us. He was a mechanic, wanting to look at his truck and his car. And then a couple of weeks later or months later, I can't remember, he had a stroke. We didn't see him. Then he had another one. He was driving. Okay. I think he was at work driving and had the stroke. Then he had another one. And he came over and he's tall, real, he couldn't focus at all. And he's like, my sister won't go buy me any cigarettes, can y'all do this for me? Can y'all run some errands for me? I said, if you need anything, just let us know and we'll help you out.
So you guys ever...
From then, that's when we really started being friends. He really needed help, so...
Did he come over frequently, or did you guys go over there frequently to see him, or were there some...
About once a week, we would take him a plate if we cooked out, but he would come over sometimes and sit down. He came over for Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner. We came over. Anytime we cooked out. I mean, he didn't want to... We could watch the football games, we'd have big cookouts, but he didn't want to watch sports. He just came for the food and for company,
Yeah, I mean, you were probably lonely over there. You with the dog, though. I'm not sure that was before or after the dog, but...
A little both.
A little bit of both. Charles, so given that, like I said, I kind of interrupted there, and I apologize. How long have you known him for, about approximately?
Maybe 2 years.
2 years. Was he already there when you moved in?
He's lived there for a long time, from what I understand. Him and Miss Renee.
Yeah.
Miss Renee is... So where the girl walked across the street?
Yeah.
That's Cassie. The house before it is Miss Renee.
Okay, so she used to live then? Or no?
No, they've known each other for a long time. She'd be able to tell you how long he's lived there.
So she lives, if Cassandra lives, he's down here, you're here, Cassandra lives right there, you say?
Miss Renee lives right there,
next to her.
fenced in, right across from us. And then the house is directly from us, the one that had the maroon car in it. Them people just moved in about a month ago.
Okay.
I think her name's Miss D.
Miss D?
Yeah, that's the one that lives right across the street from us.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. When was the last time you had seen Charles?
Sunday night when I took him a pork chop dinner. We cooked on the grill.
You ever go inside of his home at any point?
Yeah, I went in that night.
When his wife was with him, had you ever been in there?
No, we didn't know him when his wife was there.
Okay, gotcha. I was just curious.
Other than we talked to them, they used to have pit bulls, and we were scared. We didn't know if they could jump the fence or not. So my wife went over and talked to them, and then she left not too long later.
Okay. So the last time you saw Mr. Charles was Sunday night?
Yes, sir.
And you said you remember earlier telling me that you were out barbecuing, and you guys cooked out, and you brought a plate over. So pretty much that's it. How did Charles seem that night?
The same. I mean, just sitting in his house. Same old Charles. You know, he just kind of sit like this. You know, talk to you. Kind of like Sling Blade. It's like talking to Sling Blade a little bit. You know.
So they call me Sling Blade at work because I got the if I yank my pants all the way up, I need to these days.
Like this. Yeah. You got the eyes of him.
Yeah. Apparently I look like Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah. The shaved head. One of these days I'm coming to work with all my crap. I'm gonna wrap it in a belt. I'm gonna see if anybody notices.
Biscuits and mustard.
Sorry, for the longest time they had that on my door. They had Sling Blade, and it was what's his name? Carl Childers. They took my name tag off my office and they put Carl Childers in there, and they told me I had to own up to it until it disappeared. So yeah, it happened. So
I always get, you look like my Uncle John or my Uncle Thomas. It's because I'm fat and got freckles and a beard. Dude. I look like everybody.
But so you were in the house Sunday night with Charles. So he was doing,
So they're just having a good old time, and they're shooting the shit, making it look like it's a this is a routine interview that you would do when someone's found in your neighborhood. Would you say, Jason, this is the tack they're taking?
The house, like specifically just.
Yeah, they're just building a relationship. But this guy in the green shirt, though, anytime you read Miranda to start off an interview, that's kind of a clue. It's not just a conversation.
Well, and that was explained in writing, and he signed understanding that he understood this. So I think we're good to go.
Vigil ball?
No, sir.
How often is that truck over there?
Not a lot.
Not a lot? So every once in a while?
Yeah.
Has Charles ever talked about them?
Just a little bit.
And what does he say about that guy?
Trying to buy pot for him.
Oh, really? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, let me think. Does he say anything else about this individual? I know you say he's a friend. Did he annotate, like, hey, I went somewhere with him before or anything like that?
No, just the last time was he wanted like a large amount of pot, and then the guy never showed up. So.
Okay. So the guy wanted pot from Charles?
Yeah.
And why would Charles have pot?
He would call and ask if we could get it for him.
Okay. Do you guys know somebody or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, we know someone.
Okay. And I'm assuming it helped him with his, disabilities from stroke and everything else.
Stress.
Yeah. No, I can understand that completely. When his wife just left him, he just had a stroke.
Oh, she left him, and then he had the stroke driving. I think he drove a big rig.
Yeah, we ended up, I guess, I think somebody told us, like, oh, I went over my head there. I think he was a truck driver or something like that.
I think he crashed it when he had the stroke.
Yeah. And then you said he had another stroke, and I didn't know about that. Was the second one until you told us?
I believe he had a second one, like a small one.
Okay. And, damn, I had something on my mind. Completely going out. Did Charles ever talk about, did he ever have any dates? Anybody that would be intimate with him?
He didn't talk anything like that with me. I mean, every time he came over, it was either just to eat or he wanted us to give him some pot.
Okay. So it was just kind of you guys were friends, but you weren't like...
Not like, go shoot pool or hang out or something like that, Like acquaintances. Just neighbors.
Okay. And do you ever talk about his wife and the reason why she left?
You know what? If she did, he would have told Gina and Jared, maybe, but she was with another man.
Okay.
She moved to Texas.
Okay, so she cheated on him.
Yeah.
Okay, that probably broke him down a little bit.
She took everything. From what I remember him saying is she took everything. Like, she wiped the bank accounts out, and whatever valuables were in the house, she took.
Okay. So obviously we're here, doing our investigation and stuff. What we're trying to help here, and will help us out, is we need a timeline with all witnesses that were part of this, okay?
Yes, sir.
Starting when the last time you saw Charles was on Sunday night. Was his truck parked approximately in the same location?
Yeah, he either parked it like right there, or it would be parked a little bit farther forward. He kept it parked right there.
Did he usually block his driveway into there, or is there any particular spot?
He would, like I said, he was parked. I mean, I guess it depended on what he did.
Mm-hmm. How frequently did he leave the house, too? Because I know you guys said your wife would run errands for him.
Well, we haven't ran a lot of errands for him in a long, long time. Okay. But he was going, I know, when I would take the kids to school in the morning, since I've been on 3 to 11, when I'd get back from dropping my daughter off at 8, he would be gone. And then he would show back up somewhere around 10 or 11.
10, 11 in the morning? Or
in the morning.
And you said you go drop your daughter off at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Well, we would leave the house at 6:30, drop my son off at 7 at Blue Angel, and then I would drop her off between 7:30 and 8 at Brown Barge. That's a long triangle with traffic at 7. And by the time I got back from Brown Barge, it's right around 8 o'clock.
Okay, so Charles would be gone usually from that time period.
And he was taking Cookie, he said, to the dog park a lot to get her out. Yeah. So I don't know if that's what he was doing then or if he was going somewhere else.
Which dog park?
What's the big one?
Lexington Terrace or something?
In East Hill.
Oh, in East Hill?
Yeah, it's Lexington Terrace.
Yeah.
That's about.
What? East Hill ain't in Lexington Terrace.
No, your buddy Vornholt, Greg, or whatever, he was saying that they go to Lexington Terrace.
The one that's kind of not far from where he's at?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought he was going to the one off of 17th.
He could very well, because
that was the one he was first going to, because he said it had 3 dog parks in it, and then Cookie was chasing the big dogs, and the big dogs didn't like it. So I don't know if maybe he changed one somewhere else.
Well, I know Greg, your friend, he was saying that he would come there every once in a while. Maybe he was using 2 different dog parks just to mix it up.
Maybe he switched because the other one was big.
Yeah.
He couldn't catch Cookie. If she got out the door, she would run. I mean, it took us forever to catch her. I ran. She got away from him. He couldn't catch her. I bet I ran. What's the next word? Ermin. And then 2 blocks down, she went into someone's fence, and my daughter was with us. And I told her, I said, chase her to the back. And when she went to the back, I shut the gate. It took me 15 minutes to catch that dog in that fence.
You know, it is.
Then you had to carry her back. She had no collar or nothing on.
How big is Cookie? I know it's a pit mix, right?
I don't know. My wife knows what she is, but she's about like this. You know that white dog we saw? Just a little bit bigger and thicker.
Okay, so almost identical.
Yeah.
Kind of like
60 pounds, somewhere there?
Maybe 40, 60 pounds.
Friendly to people? I know you said not the kids.
Oh, no, she's friendly. It just, when the kids start playing.
Man, he's super helpful, very descriptive, and even does demonstrations. He's a very good person to interview. He's helpful. Yeah, Jason?
A little too helpful, but yeah, I agree.
B, I'll give another rundown on this when we get out of the 1.5 speed on the audio, because right now we're just kind of setting some stages and other stuff, but I'll give a rundown before it starts getting thick again.
How long were you there for?
10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Did your wife go with you or just you?
Just me.
Okay.
Wife was next door. Cassie was there on the phone with her.
So
Cassie was with your wife?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So what time was this about approximately that you brought it over?
Like 5 something maybe.
So 5.
4 or 5, I don't know. I took him that food, and then me and my wife went and met Daryl McCory and his girlfriend Jackie, and we went down to Sam's Club, or Sam's Lounge. I was there for a few hours.
Okay, so right afterwards you went over to Sam's Club or
Yes.
lounge? And who was with you on there?
Me and my wife, Daryl McCory, and the girl he's dating named Jackie.
Daryl McCory?
Yes.
Does he live in the neighborhood or is he just another friend?
He lives like, so when you go down Old Corey Field, what's the road right past the apartments to your right?
Correct.
Yeah, so you turn down there, he lives on that road.
Okay.
About 3/4 of the way down.
From there, you can tell me that Daryl McCory lived on.
Did y'all pick him up?
We picked him up, yes.
Yeah. And then you guys went down to Sam's Lounge. You remember what time you got home about?
It would have been, I don't know, my wife would know. She texted my daughter and stuff. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We were there about 3 hours.
Who was watching the kids at that time?
My daughter was babysitting.
I know they're older kids,
Yeah.
but yeah, just making
So I left my phone with her.
Okay. And you guys got home about 9 o'clock. I know you're drinking a bit probably. I'm not sure how much you had or anything like that, but was Charles' truck outside or anything like that?
It was there.
Okay, did you see any lights on or anything?
His house is the normal. You know, sometimes the porch light's on, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, otherwise it's kind of
It's
covered.
dark.
Yeah, covered in
It's
plants.
trees, a forest.
Next day, Monday morning, what do you remember from the first time you woke up?
I got up and took my kids to school.
Okay.
Same thing.
And did you Charles' truck out there?
Maybe it was there.
You don't remember? Yeah, I mean, I know I'm trying to make you go back and remember, and sometimes it's a little difficult. So you don't recall if his truck was there or not? Did anything seem out of the ordinary at Charles' residence?
Same. I mean, you see how it is. It's hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fortress almost with jungle around it.
Why didn't he ever fix any of that crap? Or do anything? Cut it down? I ain't been on the inside. Does it need work on the inside?
Yeah.
Well, like walls that torn down, all kind of crap?
I mean, the walls are. I mean, I don't know how they're held up, but it smells bad, dirty.
Mm-hmm. Did he ever ask you to do any work over there or anything like that? 'Cause I know he's obviously, probably handicapped.
Had me look at his cable. He asked me, "Is there any way you can hook the cable TV back up?" I'm like, "Well, without a box." Everybody always asks me, "Hey man, can I turn my cable back on?" Well, I can hook it up, but you ain't getting nothing. But his internet wasn't working, so I went back, checked. The fitting had stuck back. I don't know if you ever had cable problem. Yeah, hot weather, cold weather causes it. That's what I call the turtle. It's called the turtle. When it gets cold, cable will come in. When it gets hot, it expands, and eventually it'll break. So I just twisted it back on, put it on for him.
I noticed a lot of his ceilings are kind of popped out and stuff like that. Did he ever ask you to do anything for that or anything handiwork?
I'm not a handyman.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix cars. I don't know how to do stuff around. I mean, I can mow the lawn. Use a paintbrush. That's about it.
Okay. So, Monday morning you say you take your daughter, what time?
I left at 6:30.
Okay, 6:30, you drop your daughter off, your son off first, right?
Yes.
And then you drop your daughter off, usually about 8 o'clock, and you come back. I know you said you can't really recall if his truck was there or not, nothing out of the ordinary. Did you, at any point, see Charles outside or anything like that?
He never comes out except to either, like, come talk to us or get in the car and leave. That's it. He's never in the yard.
Okay.
I mean, you look at the yard, there's...
And on Monday, were you working from 3 to 11?
I've been on, yes.
And what time do you usually nap, you don't ask? Because like at midnight, I had weird sleep schedule.
Well, when I get back from the kids, usually my wife's still... I would take him because she's been taking him since I was in the mornings.
Okay.
So I've given her a break.
Okay.
And I would get back in bed and sleep for about an hour or two and get up around 10, 11 o'clock, shower again, maybe eat lunch. Then it's time to start getting ready to be out at Ellison Field, by 3 o'clock.
Yeah, and then
it's a 25-minute drive.
So, what time do you think you take a nap? And you take a shower, nap, and all that?
As soon as I get back about 8, I climb in bed and sleep till about 10 or 11.
Okay, then you wake up, and what's usually your regular day and everything else? Like, do you walk your yard? Do you do stuff around the house?
If she tells me to go out there and fix our dryer, a bearing's out in it. So you have to kind of shut the door a little bit, and you have to hold the button, hit start, and then you spin it, and then shut the door. For to fix it could be cheap enough just to buy a new one.
I mean, you can always go on Craigslist and stuff like that, but I mean, you also take a risk getting another broken one.
Yeah, and I've been trying to, my wife doesn't, she wants to keep it, she wants to get it fixed, but I'm like, I don't got that much money.
Yeah.
One income family, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, shit, you can go down to Best Buy and put one on credit, do a payment plan with 0 APR.
Yeah.
So that's sometimes more of a side deal. So you wake up, you say about 10 or 11 o'clock, and do you notice anything out of the ordinary, anything again? Like, do you notice a vehicle there?
Like I said, he never comes outside.
Okay.
Like, he's always in the house, and the only time he come out is either to come talk to us or get in the truck and leave.
Okay. So after fixing the washing machine, come Jazz doing your wife's handiwork, I think we can all do for our old lady, because they say you do it, you don't do it, and then you hear about it in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
What happened? Did you go to work, and what time did you get back that night?
Man, what time did I get in Monday night?
Was it a long night, like you were saying, if you don't finish your calls kind of night?
Monday, I think, maybe I had an hour and a half overtime Monday night, and 30 minutes last night. So around midnight. I mean, that's around time I usually get home.
Okay. So you got home about midnight, and again, I know a lot of this is repetition, but just like the police report, it's repetition, okay? Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Was this porch light on? I know you said it usually has it on sometimes.
It's so dark over there, you know.
Did you see
but I didn't see the porch light on either.
Okay. Did you see any vehicles parked out front that weren't his?
No.
Was his truck there, do you know?
Yes.
Okay, so
truck's always there at night. Like, you don't hardly ever leave at night.
Okay, so I'm assuming that your wife and kids are in bed. I'm not sure if your wife's a night owl or not.
Sometimes it depends on, if I'm getting off right at 11, she'll stay up, but if I'm working late, she goes ahead and goes to bed.
Okay. So was she awake that night, do you remember?
I think she was awake.
Did she ever mention anything weird to you, like maybe she heard some weird noises or anything like that, or anything out of the ordinary?
Not to me.
And did she happen to see Charles for any particular reason?
No, she said, she told me on the phone the last time she saw him was Monday morning.
Okay. Do you remember anything she said particular to you about, like, seeing him Monday morning? What was he doing or anything?
No, she just said the last time she saw him was Monday morning.
And did she indicate, like, how she saw him? Was he at the front of his house? Was he walking his dog?
He didn't walk her.
Okay.
Like, he would...
Okay, let's get everybody caught up for those who got in here late. A woman discovers a man's body covered by a tarp at the end of Idlewood Drive, somewhere in Florida, Escambia County, Florida, walking her dogs. The man's wrists and legs and nose and mouth were all bound together with duct tape, and a string and sheetrock and kitchen tile were found near the body. And this, according to reports, the deceased was later identified as Allison's next-door neighbor, Charles Locke. So they're talking about the homicide, or yeah, exactly, the homicide or murder of Charles Locke when they're talking to their neighbor. But if you'll notice how they talked about the other, so you know this neighbor, where does this neighbor live? Okay, so they live there. Okay, and then this other neighbor, well, how long have they lived there? And they go through these details of all the other neighbors. That's also a way that investigators can kind of lay down, this is what I know because...
in the truck, and then he would leave. Like I said, because...
My apologies there. This is what I know because I've talked to these other people. So if you're talking to a guilty party and he's going to try to deceive, he's going to have to weave his deceit, his lie, in amongst what he knows these other people would have known or may have said. Of course, he doesn't know exactly what they've said because the only thing they've told him, we've talked to these people, obviously, because we know exactly where they live. And they'll even make little comments about their dog or something about characteristic about them to let him know that they've absolutely had conversations with these other folks. Jason, what's your opinion on that? I believe we're about out real close to getting into the meat of this.
That's very typical. You'll go out and you'll canvass the neighborhood. So if you have a homicide in a certain area, you're going to talk to everybody in that area, if not you, another detective or whatnot, but with very typical law enforcement response, and what you said is exactly right. You're basically trying to tie pieces together, get this person's story is this person's story, and find the truth somewhere in the middle.
Well, at least you're laying out there. This causes stress, in my opinion. If someone's going to sit down and lie to me, but in the conversation we talk about things that are other people that may be involved in the situation that they're about to lie to me on, then they're going to have to weave their lie in there to not contradict what I've heard other places. Because that would be a problem. Then it's a direct confrontation. Either I'm lying or someone else is lying. It's much better if nobody's lying. So in their mind, they're trying to sort this out. I think that causes stress.
If he's guilty, 100%, it's going to cause stress. What I'm seeing in him is he's very relaxed, very calm right now. But I also would say the first time you talk to somebody, they're going to tell you what they want you to hear. And until you pipe up the heat a little bit, you're not going to see that stress exposed. So,
No, I don't disagree. I think this is the first few turnings of the vice. I think this is going to come into play later in the interrogation. It's going to cause stress with him when he's trying to cover things, because he knows other people have said other things too. And I also want to welcome Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne from X. He's our co-host on Night Court. He's kind of jumping in to just kind of fill the spot tonight. But Bruce, if you have opinions, we'd love to hear them.
All right.
All right.
I don't have any as of yet.
Very well. Let's get back to the video.
She got loose. It's done. Yeah, she's gone. You're going all the way down Chasefield, off Frisco to catch her.
Okay. Tuesday morning, you wake up. Tell me what's going on that day. What you see around in the neighbors' yards and stuff like that.
The same.
Same thing.
Yes,
It's a truck out front.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there
It's been there all week out front.
Okay, so it hasn't moved.
I mean, I don't know. It's been about the same general area.
For the time that you're out.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you take your kids to school on Tuesday morning?
I've been taking them every day the last month.
Okay.
Why?
Because she's been taking them, and I've just given her a break, letting her sleep in. She's been with her dad. Her brother's been holding everything in probate, and she's just been real stressed. And
so, you know, one of my biggest pet peeves was, even though my old lady works at home, was, you know, obviously if I'm the sole paycheck guy, you know, I take that little animosity there, you know what I mean? I'd be like, you know, come on now, I'm working 3 to 11, taking the kids to school and everything else.
Yeah.
You get worn out, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, easily get worn out. So you wake up Tuesday morning, you take the kids to school. Same schedule, obviously 6:30, 7 o'clock. Your son gets there and you drop your daughter off about 7:30, 8 o'clock on your way home. Again, I know it's super repetition, okay? Do you notice anything ordinary? I know there's this truck there. Were there any other vehicles there?
no other vehicles were there, but I think the truck was still there.
Was there anything out of place?
No, it's just, I mean, it looks the same. It looks horrible.
This might be an odd question. Do you sleep real heavy, or do you sleep a pretty light sleeper?
I'm a pretty light sleeper. I hear everything in the house.
Well, between Sunday night and Tuesday morning, did you hear anything outside that might have been weird? Something might have woken you up and that you just disacknowledged as being just, you know, outside?
Well, Sunday night, I drank a lot.
Yeah, I completely understand.
Yeah.
So
that's why we came home. Well, we came home, Daryl's girlfriend, she was being mean. And so we came home. And then, but like I say, I hear everything in the house. Someone gets up and walking around the house, I hear it. Mm-hmm. You know, if someone's around like our window or something, I would wake up. But like out in the streets or something, it'd have to be very loud for me to wake up.
You didn't hear anything like that?
No, sir.
Does Cookie bark a lot?
I mean, if you came up to the porch, she does, but...
Does he put her out back a lot, or is she mostly in the house?
No, she could jump the fence.
Okay, so he didn't use the backyard before.
Yeah, if you see in our backyard, there's like holes in the vines that's growed up.
Yeah.
That's where she porched through.
Okay, I got you.
Because we woke up and she was in our backyard.
That's, it's not a sign, it's like, hey, why don't you give me help?
Yeah, and then we take him back home and you're like, I don't know how she's doing it, but she's just
worried.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen dogs like greyhounds and stuff that can easily...
He started putting her in the front yard, and his Charger?
Yeah. Is it a Charger or an Avenger, by the way? I don't know which.
I think it's a Charger.
They look very similar, you know what I mean?
But she would get on the hood and jump the fence.
Smart dog.
Yeah.
They say mutts are the best kind of dogs. They're smarter, because...
I got all the genes in them.
Yeah, like mine has like 20 different things in him, but he's a wild little shithead too. His problem, same thing, he likes to play bike. He drives me insane. The difference is he's like 25, 30 pounds. You know what I mean? So I got to worry about, 60-pound dog.
Dragging the kid down the road.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, my dude's, he's just stupid looking, to be honest. So, I mean, he's not very intimidating either. But, so you didn't hear anything weird that night. When you wake up, like I said, Tuesday morning, you take the kids, do you kind of go through the same type of
everything? The last month's been the same thing. I get in, and I'll get up at 6:30, get the kids going, take them to school, come back, and lay back down.
Okay. What about Wednesday morning? Same
thing?
Okay.
Well, hold on. No, Wednesday, no.
Okay. Well,
sorry. They left. They went to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, that's right.
Yes.
And are the kids out of school right now? Because I know a lot of people
graduated. 2 days left.
Oh, so you're coming out early. Yeah. Later. So obviously they did all their state testings and stuff like that.
Yeah, my wife got a message saying my daughter's grades are going to be mailed to us at the end of July. Something happened and the computer didn't process the test fast enough.
And a lot of times they have issues too with all the scratch sheets, and they just gave me very specific when I was in school, which so don't worry. And a lot of times they don't caught. It was kind of like, I guess, about years ago, back in the old before the computer kind of got jacked up, and all the ballots were kind of screwed around. So, unfortunately, so Wednesday morning they leave.
They left Tuesday.
They left Tuesday?
Yep.
What time did they leave on Tuesday?
They left at... got there at 6:30. They got to McAllister Oklahoma at 6:30.
So she just went to the straight shot. She didn't stop, did she?
Yeah, she won't stop.
I don't blame her.
I can do it too, but like the last hour, if we go at night, that last hour, I'm like, if I drive the whole way, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't drink another Red Bull or Monster. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
But we've been splitting the time. We've got it figured out. I'll drive all the way. I'll get us to Mobile. She don't like the bridges and stuff. And then she'll usually drive all the way to Shreveport. And then when we go to her mom's house, when you cross over Shreveport, you go to Paris, Texas, and it's a bunch of back roads. I usually drive that part.
Is it just because it's quicker than the interstate?
Yeah, like about 3 hours.
See, that's the trick people don't realize a lot of times. When I travel, unfortunately, the GPS.
Everybody thinks that you stay on 10. You stay on 10, but then once you get to Shreveport, you got to take 20 to Dallas, or you turn right there at Tyler, Texas. Well, when you turn Tyler, Texas, and it's a straight shot to it, and up here you look at all these zigzags, but it's 40 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour for like 3 hours. So them other ways is always 60, 70 miles an hour.
Yeah,
so,
probably traffic's a lot later.
Yeah.
Because the interstate is a major.
And then right outside of Paris, you catch a toll road that shoots straight outside of McAllister, and it's 75 miles an hour.
See, that's the thing that always drove me nuts about traveling too. Is every single state's different. I remember going through California one time, it was like 55 all the way through the state, and I was like, I could be killing it.
Texas is 75, and I think they got 80 somewhere down by Houston and Midland and stuff like that.
Must be nice. I think we're capped out at 70 over here. I mean, it might go a little bit. I'm not joking. I'm not usually paying attention. I put my cruise control on to like 80 and just let it go. You know, and let the Lord go with me. You know, if I get pulled over, I get pulled over. But so they leave at about 6:30. I mean, they leave at 1700, so about 5 o'clock, and she gets there at Wednesday at 06:30, right?
Yes, in the morning.
So she gets over there Wednesday. Does she call you?
Yeah, she called me throughout the night.
Okay, good.
Until I went to bed. I went to bed about 2, 3 o'clock.
Okay, so calls you Wednesday 06:30. Says, hey, by the way, I got home. I know you said...
Well, she texted me because I was asleep. So she texted me and said, we made it. When I woke up, I called her.
Okay, and when you called her, what was the rest of your day like on that? Like, what did you do? Like, since you didn't have the kids to take out, did you sleep in?
Let's see. Went paid water bill. What else did I do? Paid water bill. Got something to eat. Came back to the house.
Okay. Did you notice anything weird with Charles' residence again?
Same thing. You know.
Did you see his gate? Did he usually keep his gate closed because of the dog?
Yeah, he always closes his gate. Okay. It stays closed all the time. Unless he leaves. Now, notice, you know, when he would leave in the truck, the gate would be open.
Okay, but if he didn't leave, he kept it closed?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, you paid the water bill Wednesday. Did you do any work around the house or anything like that?
Not much. Moved, you see the swimming pool in the backyard? Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to get rid of that, too.
I'm telling you, man.
You see how far I got it? Where it's all there, you know, out there in the back where the grass hasn't grown. I've tried watering and raking. It's just sand. It's not ever going to grow. And I got it all the way to that corner right there, and that's about as far. I just got to...
Gonna cut it down and break it down.
I'm just going to throw it over. And I'm going to get on Facebook. And
so gonna pick it up.
I've done it. I've been looking. Need yard work. Who does leaves and haul-offs? Everybody says they do it, but then when you message them, they don't ever show up.
You know, it's kind of good. I can tell you that's happened a few times to me, you know, doing sales and stuff. I'm just trying to get rid of crap because, you know, as your house starts getting cluttered, you just need to get rid of it. And, you know, a lot of times I'll put it out. Like, some of you know, you put it cheap even, too. I mean, even in a case like that, you do it for free. You know, you haul it off, just take it. So, but...
Well, it's ripped. Cookie actually ripped it.
Did you get into it?
The kids Tucker was throwing something, and we had drained it, and was getting ready to clean it, get it ready back, and he threw something in it, and she jumped in it and couldn't get out, and she just ripped a big hole in it. So, it was done. $400 down the drain.
Don't worry, you see my apartment. You see my dog's absolutely decimated everything that was worth value. I had one of those nice Echoes from Amazon, you know, the ones you talk to. Somebody ate the cord, ate the controller to the TV. He destroyed everything just about. For some reason, I keep buying him stuff like he's a good dog. But I keep saying to myself, maybe he'll grow up, he'll grow out of it. But I don't know. He was a rescue, so he's kind of crazy nut. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if it was.
It's kind of the thing, like, you want to get rid of it, but then you're like, I wonder what he did today when you get home. And yep, that's what he did.
Because there's days he's good too, you know. I'm like, oh, he's a nice dog, but then I get pissed off at him. I'll tell him I can get rid of you, you know. But I don't mean it. But you know, I say to myself, I'm like, God damn, I dropped a lot of money. You know what I mean? Yeah. Between vet bills and I get sick and shit, and all the medications and flea medication. I'm like, I don't know why the hell I bought one. It's not like he contributes anything to the house. Yeah. So, but
mine is the kids. So we got 3 cats, and 2 years ago, 2 of them showed up. We thought they were females. Mm-hmm. So I forgot what was their name. It was Angel and Demon. Okay, thought they were female. Their tails were burnt. Someone had burned them, and they just showed up on our porch. Turned out about 2 months later, balls dropped. Yeah. Oh, those are men. Those are boys.
So both boys.
Now they're Demon and Lucifer. Well, a year later, like the same exact month, a little female, gray and white female cat shows up.
You might want coffee. I made some coffee.
No, I don't want
you absolutely sure.
And
what you got, man? Some Marriott boots?
Okay, I think we got enough foundation, doesn't everyone? And folks, I sped this up, so there was quite a bit of foundation, a lot of talking back and forth, very details that they're gathering out of him. But Jason, do you think they got him committed to a story yet?
It's hard to follow, but yeah, they got timelines down, and I think they got his steps down. Is my mic better, by the way?
It's been sounding okay to me, but maybe if the folks in the audience can throw it out.
Either way, no, I think they got the timeline down. I think it's going to start moving forward now. And if you can't hear me, let me know.
Sound good to me. Folks in the audience, give us a thumbs up if you can hear Jason's audio, just like he told us it was low. We would appreciate it. Let's see if I've gotten past the Speedy Gonzalez portion of this.
Sorry, I got a lot of things in my head. I'm just trying to put them all together. Has Charles ever helped you with any of this type of stuff, too? I know you said Daryl did.
No, Charles is... He, like the trash can, I tried to get it in there. Daryl tried to help me. Both of us couldn't get it in there. It's heavy. And Charles said he just can't do anything since he had his strokes. He's supposed to have a procedure, but he decided not to do it. He's got something wrong in his leg. Mm-hmm. Blood vessel or something like that blew out, and they were wanting to put...
Stent?
No. He said they were going to... The choices that they gave him were they were going to splice it into another one, or they were going to use one from... what is... like a cadaver. Oh. A cadaver. But he said that would freak him out.
so he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, go.
He was just going to live with it.
What is it they call that? There's a syndrome where they say, you know, it's weird when you get other body parts from other people and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, I kind of agree.
But he couldn't hardly do anything. Like, he could barely pick Cookie up.
So he couldn't have done any type of work on that, which makes sense. I was trying to figure that out. His house is in pretty disarray, and there's holes in the ceiling and stuff like that. But did Charles ever let you use his vehicle whenever you guys were running errands or anything like that?
I used his truck to go pick up before I got my truck. I got my truck when we got the income tax, but we got a couch that's in the garage, and we used it to go pick it up.
Okay.
That would have been in February?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever used his truck since then?
No, sir.
Kind of a weird thing that was brought up, and we heard this from a neighbor, so maybe you can add to it since you saw Charles frequently. Did Charles's vehicle was broken into? Did you ever hear about that?
Yes, he came over our house, said that his wallet was stolen.
Okay. And did he ever say about anything that might have happened with the wallet? Did anybody use any of his cards or money?
He said that he thought someone had used it, but he canceled the card and he was using his checks.
Okay. So he was using the checks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So none of his cards were. And how recent was this? Because we don't really have a time frame.
About a month ago.
About a month ago? So about a month ago, his car gets broken into. Now we heard about another incident that occurred. Somebody maybe messed with his truck, vandalized it. Did he ever tell you about that, or
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Well, we were told that somebody had slashed his tires, and that I guess maybe he had to get them replaced or something like that.
I don't know. I didn't know anything about that.
Okay. Did he ever mention to you why he didn't want to file a police report or anything like that?
About what?
His wallet and all that. Because that incident came up, but I guess he never did want to file a police report with us.
I don't know.
Okay.
I thought he did. I thought he went to the bank and did that.
Okay. Maybe that we solve his case, figure out who murdered him. That way we can bring justice to what happened, as well as we can bring peace to his family.
You a convicted felon?
No, sir.
Nothing. Okay. No criminal history?
I have
battery charge?
Yeah.
All right. That's it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've never been in trouble. I mean,
you know if Charles had ever been in trouble?
I don't know a lot about him.
Let's tap the brakes. Seems like we've had a change, not just the audio speed, but the whole demeanor of the room's changed. Jason, you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, they're moving in close to him. It's looks like they're ready to pounce, but I did pick up on he lied in his own words there when I don't know nothing about that, and I thought he did make a police report, but yeah, they're moving in on him.
Yeah, most definitely. They're turning the heat up, and I think the answer, or the question about the do you have a criminal history, I think that's when the switch turned. Bruce, any comments you'd like to say? You know what? We've got another special guest with us tonight. We got Grizzly Greg. I'm going to bring Grizzly Greg in. Go ahead, Bruce. Anything you'd like to say about this?
No, I did hear the tempo change the tactics, but from my amateur perspective, I don't have much input yet.
Okay, let's get back to it. Welcome, Grizz. Do you have audio?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get back to the video. We've changed the tempo. You're going to start seeing these investigators kind of close in his world a little bit and contest him on the things that he said.
Like I said, you know, he was just checking up on that because he had some questions. But like I was saying, Calvin, biggest thing with us is, like I said, it's our job to find a killer. You know what I mean? To figure out what happened. Obviously, family wants to know. My bosses want to know. Everybody wants to know.
Yes,
and it helps bring peace of mind to the family and everything else. I mean, when we found him, it was pretty bad. Okay, and there was a lot of, you know, it wasn't just like I said. Everybody wants to know. It helps bring peace of mind to the family. It was a pretty drastic situation. I mean, when we found him, it was pretty bad. I'm sorry, when was it? There was a lot of, you know, it wasn't just like I said, everybody wants to know. So, obviously, while we're here to help Grizz, so we can get help when we found him, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's very important that we find this out, because ultimately, yes, it's a job we do, but I would absolutely love to bring peace to it. I mean, this gentleman wasn't a bad person. I don't know what his private life was like. I'm not sure if he ever told you what his private life was like, but what's important is we get the absolute truth and figure it out.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And I'll shoot straight to the chase. Okay. When we found Charles, there were some certain items there that we found peculiar. Okay. Stuff that was unique and stuff that kind of why we were asking about the trash and everything else.
Yes, sir.
Do you know particularly what we had out there and why? Like I said, we're talking about the twine, we're talking about the drywall and stuff like that. Okay. Do you know anything else Charles might have been more involved in?
He stayed at home all the time. I mean, other than taking Cookie. I mean, unless I don't know what he's doing in them hours, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he'd be gone from, I don't know what time he would leave, because I leave at 6:30, and then he'd get back around 10 or 11. So
my big concern here is what we have out there is, like I said, items that were consistent with items that were found between both of your guys' yard. Okay. And this is the reason why we have here. We're asking you, trying to come to a bottom of things. And what's difficult for us is, mind you, I know you love your children, you love your wife, okay? And I know your wife's probably worried about what's going on too, very curious. I know she's going through a lot with this probate stuff, okay? I'm sure she hasn't told your children what's going on, because I'm sure they met Charles and I'm sure they like Charles, okay? Where we're at and what we're looking at is, I know these are people that are important to you, okay? And I know something else happened, okay? It's what I need is help assisting with what happened to Charles.
I don't know.
Okay. We have a few things that I would like to go over, okay?
Yes, sir.
The sheetrock that was on your front of your residence, is there anybody who would have any other access to that?
Anybody come up on the porch, get it from the side of the house. I mean, it's not locked up.
Okay, that's very true. The ties, you've never seen those before.
I'm not sure what I mean, you said twine.
Yeah, twines. I call them ties, you know. Have you never seen those before?
No, I don't use them.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was a particular thing, like I said, I didn't know if there was gardening going on or anything like that.
The only thing we've done is dug that big bush up in our front yard.
Okay. We have some questions of some stuff, and one of these questions are going to be more related because of these investigators have found. Okay. Investigators obviously did a search warrant on both residences. Okay. I would love for you to help me find out why we have some items of Charles's inside your residence.
Okay.
We have some keys. We have some other items. Is there any particular reason why?
His spare keys he gave us.
Why did he give you any spare keys?
In case he lost the other ones.
Okay.
When he lost his wallet, I have his checkbook. He used his checks. He gave me that in case he lost his wallet again.
You have any other items of Charles's inside your house?
No, sir.
So, Charles's cards were stolen. Who's this gentleman to you?
That's E-Rail.
Who's he? It's Darrell?
E-Rail.
E-Rail.
He says he lives at your house.
He's just been staying there for a few days.
Well, real quick, I'm gonna interject for just a second. I'm gonna let him talk or whatever. All right, Calvin, I want you to make one thing very clear to you. All right, we don't pull no punches. We don't bullshit. All right, listen, just hear me out, okay? We do our homework before we come in here. You don't have no criminal history. All right, the last thing you want to be painted as is a monster, because the only thing we leave in this world is our legacy, right?
Yes, sir.
No matter what you have, it's our legacy.
Yes, sir.
And no matter what you did, how you did it, or whatever, your children, at least your children, I can't speak for your wife, but your children are always going to love you.
Yes, sir.
No matter what. All right? Everything we do is videotape. There is no secret about that. Okay? So, this is whether Calvin is this heinous monster okay, that they look at as a killer, okay? Or we know what kind of lifestyle he was into. Did something go wrong and then something went bad and you had to take care of something and do something? Listen, hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Because if that's what happened, then that's what happened. Because honesty, even though you think not, honesty will get you so much further than sitting here on this tape. Because if you go to jail, for this murder, okay, there won't be another chance except on the day of trial for them to see who and what you are. Because just like he said, he's going through some things that we have found. We go back to the things that we found at the scene. Ask you about your boots, okay? We have your boot print at the scene, okay? We have your car tires at the scene. We have the tarp in the trash can, what it was bought in at your house. The sheetrock that is at the scene, okay? The same UPC code is on your front porch, Chief. You with me?
Yes, sir.
So now is the time. You have children and a family to save face and be a man.
I didn't do anything.
Well, then explain it away. You tell me, all right, you don't say you didn't do anything. You explain to me, how did Calvin Allison's boot print get there at the scene? Because we have your truck. We're seizing your truck, okay? We are in your house as we speak. We see where he was dragged from the house and back through the yard. You raked your yard in the last couple of days, okay? We're at your house now. We don't miss nothing, okay? So you tell me, how does your boot print get out there at the scene? How does your tire, your left front tire, because you have 4 different tires on that truck, your left front tire's cupped, okay? You know what that is, right? Cupped. All right, it's when you ran over the sheetrock, all right, it left the black tire marks on there that matches your tire. Then that brown piece of facing boarding, okay, that you use to repair your shower with, in this photo right here, right there, the board, that's there at the scene also with the same tile on it. Now either you got some shitty fucking luck, okay?
I didn't do it.
And who did it?
I can't tell you, but I didn't do it.
You were there.
I wasn't there.
Calvin.
I've been at work and with...
Calvin, listen, okay? Remember what he said, okay?
All right, Jason, where's our temperature with our subject at this point in the interrogation?
I was actually watching the interviewers more than the suspect, and I don't know if you guys picked it up, but the black shirt guy, he was biting his tongue, his leg was shaking, he couldn't keep himself contained for a while there, and he just opened up a can of whoop ass on this guy, and I thought that was well played.
I agree. I think that it is I think it's a tactic, though. He sat back quietly. He was getting... When I went back and edited this video, I kept hearing that train sound, like a train choo-choo sound, woo-woo, train horn sound. And I thought, because I got this from another creator on YouTube who does some excellent stuff. I'll pitch him again. The no bullshit interrogation, I think is what it is, but I'll get it right in a second. But either way, I thought it was something that they were putting in there, like the watermark, but it's not. It's the officer in the black shirt's phone. He's got that stupid ring on it. And I know guys like that, they won't silence a ringer to save their life. But I think he was getting text messages in. He's checking the story. I think he's the bad cop in this situation. I think that's a tactic. Do you think?
Yeah, I kind of picked up on that when they started. It was a good cop, bad cop technique. But the black shirt guy is definitely emotionally involved in this, or appearing to be. And also the tone and the suspect completely switched from prior.
Well, remember I talked about earlier the stress that they were building up. He wasn't feeling it yet, but it was stacking up in there, and I think that's the sergeant detective in the black shirt. Sergeant detective, absolutely, I think got his that cascade of emotions going down on the inside of him right now.
I will say I'm not convinced he did it though yet. I'm convinced he knows because they asked who did it. He said, "I can't say." That was an interesting comment on his part. I'm curious to learn more.
We'll be curious. Now, Rude has said he just knows the shackles on the table. I believe those are affixed to the table like you bring someone in who's not cooperative. And I think it's also a good piece when you bring someone in like this guy too. But that shackle, I believe, is attached to the table itself. B. Wayne, Grizz, any comments this far before we go back to the video?
I agree with Jason, and he actually called that the black shirt was going to come in hard 3 minutes before he actually did. But you're absolutely right. He's playing the bad cop and kind of like it.
Okay, you made that sound a little dirty. I'm not sure if I like that or not. But let's go to Grizz. Clean that up, Grizz.
I don't know if I can clean that up, but I agree that the text messages is all part of the game. And even going to the door, right, and having that little conversation while the guy's being interrogated, leads the guy to believe that, oh my gosh, he's getting more information, and that's all leading up to the bad cop part, I believe. And I agree with Jason. I have no idea whether the guy's guilty or not, but certainly the trail would lead one to believe that.
No, without a doubt. And as Rude says, my triangular table, if those you can't forget that, is true.
Start that again.
If the triangle table was in this interrogation room, you could have cut an hour off of this. You've gotten to where you needed to be. The triangle table is a game changer. Battlefield multiplier is what we would call it in the game. And B says that is some shitty effing luck. She's talking about this sergeant. She likes his play as well. Sergeant's getting some fans in here. And Bert says, I heard I can't say, and then tried to backtrack it. I think that's absolutely true. You're going to see a lot of fidgeting, I think, going forward. They've turned up the heat. I think they've laid the stage very well. I think both these investigators are decently skilled at what they're doing.
This is an opportunity for you to explain and let us help us figure out what's going on. This doesn't disappear, and this is the type of thing that, like you said, you want to go out with your children thinking that you're a monster, or you want to go out to say that we owned up and you want to tell us what happened over there?
Well, I didn't do anything, so, I mean, I didn't do it.
Calvin, understand what we're coming at. This is the chance to win the lottery, buddy. You know what I mean? To top it all off, I'm not sure if you're aware, but where Charles was found, there's one camera. There's one way in, one way out of that place. And one of the neighbors got a camera sitting right on that road.
And you're familiar with it because your friends live off of Sorrent. And it's just on the other side of Sorrent. All right? Because let's see here. This is where your checkbook, let's go right here. This is where the checkbook and the keys are found. Okay? So there's a checkbook of his. All right? Mm-hmm. So, all right, we go to there. There's the tarp. That matches up. That Ozark Trail come from Walmart. Okay? Then this guy shows up at the house. I'll tell you what I think. This is what I think. I think you're a good person. I think you're a family man. And I think Charles has helped y'all out at some point in time, just as y'all's helped him. All right? But Charles has a little fetish that a lot of people don't know about. You know, you can't miss it because if you walk in his house, can't miss it. He's a cross-dresser. Got fake boobs, got dresses, got all kind of stuff. I think Charles come on to you.
No.
And shit went bad. If that's the case, I can buy that. And if shit went bad and you got a guy that has homosexual tendencies and you're not a homosexual and he puts his hand on you.
That never happened.
Okay. Then I'm telling you, I'm all ears, I'll take notes. You tell me.
We need to know what happened.
You tell me, how did all the things I just showed you, I've showed you some of my cards. Okay. Duct tape, that duct tape, that's going to seal the fate. Because of the way duct tape is, okay? So, you tell me then how all those items I just laid out to you got there 5 feet away from the body? I'm listening. I'm listening.
Sir, I don't know.
I mean, Calvin, like I said, those straps, those ties too. Guess what? 2 of them on the body. Okay, 2 of them on. I mean, we got 2 or 3 on your property. Okay.
Well, you just said they were on his property too. So I mean, I don't know what straps or what ties you're talking about.
I'll show them to you in just a minute. I mean, that's the least.
That's the least of it.
That's
Exactly.
the least.
What we want to know is what happened. We need a story, Calvin.
Did somebody borrow your boots?
No.
Okay.
Where did this happen?
Where do you think it happened?
I don't know. You said it was in his house.
What was in his house?
You just said he was drugged out of his house.
I said you can see where he was drugged through the yard, and you raked your yard because he was drugged out the back. And it looks like
that's what you just said.
Right. Did you not rake your yard?
Yes, I told him. I've been cleaning the pool.
You never told him.
You never told me you were raking
that.
your yard.
Yes, I did. At the very first, when we asked about when I told you about the pool, and I said I've been raking and watering, and the grass isn't growing.
You told me there was a part in the back that doesn't grow, but you never told me you're raking. You said you just moved that thing, moved the the pool over.
Yeah, and I said I've been raking and watering, and I can't get the grass to grow.
Calvin, understand as we sit here, these type of situations get worse and worse, okay? And what we do for a living is, like I said, is bring justice, okay? He has a family. He has sisters. He has kids, okay?
Yes, sir.
You have kids. You have a family.
Yes,
you understand
sir.
if you were put in the same type of situation, how bad it would be and how heartbroken you would be.
Yes, sir.
Especially the way he was found.
Yes, sir.
I need to know what happened over there, Calvin.
Well, I don't know, sir. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
You just kill people?
I don't kill people. I didn't do it.
Who did it then? You let somebody borrow your boots and you let somebody borrow your truck? I'll show you right there. There's your boot print. Right there. Let me see the bottom of your boots. Yeah, that's your boot print right there.
And where's this at?
Right there. That's at the scene where the body's found.
You want to show him a picture of the body?
Yeah, I'll show him a picture of the body right now.
You go, Calvin. This is what Charles looks like today.
That's what decomposition does.
Calvin, would you want your family found like that?
No.
Sister can't even have a funeral for him because he can't have an open casket. They can have a funeral but no open casket. Did he make a pass at you?
No, sir.
Calvin, you need to help us understand what happened out there, because I know you know more about it.
Out where? Where are you talking about? You just keep saying the scene.
You don't know?
No.
You don't? Okay. You do know that I don't know what's in your phones yet, but your phones that are in the truck, you know we take those. All right, and we shall download them. Don't matter what you've deleted, we can still pull it.
There's a thing called historical location.
And geolocations.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I don't have anything to hide from you. Right off of Idlewood, dead end of Idlewood.
You know where that pond is?
Idlewood?
You know where Idlewood's at. You know
You
where
work for ECUA, bro. You know.
Yeah, I was there with Kendall at the end of Idlewood, and it's got a big gate that says "Do not enter here."
Other side of Idlewood.
No, we went to the end of Idlewood, and there's a big gate, and it says contaminated.
There's
we got called
places you can access it. You can access it off of W Street. You can access it off of Jackson Street, and you can access it off of Citrus Street.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were there for a leak at the corner of Idlewood this week, just a couple of days ago. Call them and ask them.
What's his number?
Call and ask ECUA.
What's Kendall's number?
It's in my phone.
Okay. And Kendall lives in Santa Rosa County?
He's at work right now on 3 to 11. We got called a leak on Idlewood.
What's office number? Y'all work out of
Ellison. You just call the main ECUA number.
All right.
They called us a leak out there. We went all the way down into it, and there's a big thing that says contaminated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they called us and said that there was a fire hydrant leaking on the corner of Idlewood. That would say why my GPS said I was there.
Calvin, you understand what we're doing and how this works, okay? Like my sergeant was saying, if this gentleman made a pass at you, I know you said that's not the way it went down. I would like to know what the way it went down, okay? Because if he did something to try to hurt you, that's how we have to figure it out. But you have to understand is that we have to know the story. We have everything leading up to it, but we don't have the story. And I would hate for all this to go bad south because we don't have a story and a way for you to tell your side of it. Okay? I mean, that's just the simple truth behind it. If I need your side.
Well, I didn't do it, so, I mean, I didn't do anything to Charles.
Is there any reason why you'd have any animosity against Charles? Has he done anything to you?
I haven't done anything to Charles. I haven't done anything to anybody.
I understand, Kelvin. I don't think you're a bad person at all, man. I'm going to tell you right now, from the minute I met you, okay? I don't think you're a bad person. At all.
I'm not a bad person. I haven't done anything.
You have beautiful kids, okay? You're a caring father who takes care of his daughter, takes care of your son, who, I mean, he's not really disabled, but you said, he was blind as a bat. You go to work, you bust your butt, you know what I mean? And you're probably just barely making ends meet. I'm the same way, okay? I don't get rich off this job at all. I don't think you're a bad person at all, Calvin. I don't think you're a bad person at all, okay? And I promise you we're not bullshitting, let me tell you that, okay? I think something bad went down. And I don't think that's you. I think it was just a shitty situation that turned south.
I didn't do it.
I understand, Charles. Like you said, what we're looking at and everything else is there's just an insurmountable amount of evidence, okay? And even with you going out there to fix a leak, you know what I mean? You use a company truck, sheetrock from your house and bathrooms over there. It has the serial numbers on it are the same. They come from the same lot, okay? Your tire impressions there on your vehicle. The tie straps that are in your yard are out there as well. The tarp, those are tarp that Charles was wrapped up in, is in your trash. Charles's keys, both keys to both vehicles are inside of your house. His checkbook's inside of your house. The board that goes into the bathroom with the tile is inside, that was in your house at one point. Is out there on the scene. Understand, man, I have to have a side of a story. I have to know what happened over there. I don't want this to go down. And know that we all have issues. We may all make mistakes. It could have been an accident. It could have been him coming and attacking you. But I'll never know. But I need to know the absolute truth of what happened. I think you're not a bad guy. I really do. I'm not me.
Okay, I'm going to leave it at you're not a bad guy. We're about to hit a turning point here. Does anybody want to lay odds on where this goes? Jason, I saw a little back end comment. Do you want to give that opinion out here?
Yeah, I don't care. It's a prediction. First, I think the interrogator right now, if I was him, it sounds like Charles was pretty much killed in a very bad way. And I would look at the rage that goes into murdering somebody in that fashion and leaving them in that position, and I would ask him, what would somebody have to do to make somebody that mad to, it's one thing to kill somebody, it's another thing to mutilate them and stab them 75 times with rage and passion. What did Charles do to make the killer that mad? And my prediction is, I think they said Charles was a cross-dresser or whatever. I'm guessing maybe Charles touched a kid in the neighborhood, touched one of this guy's kids. I don't think he keeps saying I didn't do it, so I don't think it's his kid. But my prediction would be Charles got caught touching a child in the neighborhood, and that amount of rage is why his body was found the way it was. I could be completely wrong, but right now that's what I'm thinking.
It would be in your on your list of tactics that you might employ if you were the interrogator on this one. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would want to ask the yellow shirt right now, what would cause somebody that much anger to do this to this person, and go after the motive, and kind of backtrack from did you do it? You keep saying I didn't do it. What would cause a person to do this to somebody? And then give him examples if they touched a kid, if they came onto you and you weren't gay. You know, what would cause this rage?
Well, how far would you go before that could be considered maybe leading?
It's a Miranda statement. You can say whatever the hell you want. I mean, you can lead them down a path. It's not the witness stand. It's an interrogation. I'd lead them.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you're going to have to sit on the witness stand and explain the interrogation.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
And the reason I say that, I go back to the last week's episode we had with Victoria Martin's brutal murder, and how no one's actually been charged with that child's crime because the investigators, I thought, one of the things they did incorrectly, in my opinion, was leading questions.
I don't think these questions are leading. I think these questions are developing motive, and that there's a difference between leading someone to confess to something they didn't do and leading someone into saying, why would somebody kill somebody in this fashion? You're not asking them to admit, just as a person, what would make somebody get that much rage?
No, and I get you, and I get the tack that you're going on. I just don't know about the motive. I think they've got him on enough physical evidence. They've got him shook. I'm just curious to see how they finish him off. And we're going to go to the second part of that. But first, we're going to start doing this each week. I'm pushing some of my favorite podcasters and creators out there. And this week, probably every week thereafter, because I'm a big fan of the Range Minded podcast. And it's the Range Minded podcast. Take a look.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, man, what time does the store close? Or where's the best cheeseburger near me? Well, I'm not going to answer those questions. That's what your damn phone is for. Use that. Instead, if you have stuff related, to the 2A world, I'm your man. My name's Steve. I run the Range Minded podcast. On the podcast, we talk about all things Second Amendment, whether it be new guns or gear. Maybe we talk about some training. We'll dig into Washington and the shenanigans they get up to. Sometimes we talk about the Supreme Court and the crap that they're doing. It's always a good time, a little smorgasbord of the 2A, if you don't mind me using that narrative. Either way, you can find us whether on YouTube or Rumble, Range Minded Podcast. I'm also on all sorts of streaming services, wherever you listen to your podcast, Range Minded Podcast. You can jump on the website, rangemindedpodcast.com. Maybe stop by, buy a patch and some other things. There you can link to the social medias and all that other stuff. Hope to see you there. It's always a good time. Anyways, you guys have fun, stay safe, and always stay range-minded. See you guys soon.
I tell you what, if you haven't caught his, and it's anywhere that you can get a podcast. I listen to him on Spotify, but he does a very good job on putting together news items, particularly maybe some legislation or things that are going through our current events, I should say, of 2A minded things. So Range is a good guy. You should give him a follow on X, but absolutely catch his podcast, give him some likes and subscribes there. It doesn't cost you anything. Let's get to the second round here, and then Lamar, I'm going to get you in the mix, so I hope you have an opinion.
This story will be important because it also, you got to think about your children and your wife. You got to think about, does Calvin have a chance if he doesn't tell his side of the story? And Calvin had a beautiful opportunity to tell his side of his story. I need to know what happened, Calvin. Otherwise, we're in a bad situation, buddy. Charles, I know, had some weird habits and stuff. I need to know, did it have anything to do with that? No, listen to your boss, okay? Calvin, look at me. Tell me what happened, buddy. I ain't here to fucking mess you up or anything, man. I need to know what happened over there.
He tried to kiss me.
He tried to kiss you?
Grabbed me. And I pushed him down. I don't think he hit his head on it. I don't know what it was. The blood was coming out.
It's okay, Calvin.
No, it's not okay.
Look at me. Calvin. Calvin. Boss, look at me. I need your side of the story. So he tried to kiss you. So he came on to you. He hit his head. He started bleeding.
I didn't know what to do.
Just got nervous.
Embarrassed. Why would he do that to me?
What day was this, Calvin?
Sunday evening.
This happened when you brought the food over?
Yes, sir.
I don't know why he tried doing that either. Knows you have a wife and kids. Did Charles die instantly?
I'm not sure.
Did you just leave?
Yes, sir. I waited there about 5 minutes. He was twitching. Then I left.
What did you do next?
I didn't do anything for 2 days. I didn't know what to do.
I understand you're scared. You know what I mean? I get it, man. Calvin, you're not by yourself here, okay?
Oh, my life is over.
Calvin, look at me.
And now my kids are...
Calvin, I know you said you didn't know what to do. You're nervous. Did you... Obviously you brought the body over there, right?
Okay, you've got it. He's broken the ice that he's the killer. So where do we go from there?
So I would jump in quickly. I would say you need the rest of the story. I think I saw someone post in the chat 75 stab wounds. So you're at the point where you understand that there was an altercation because the guy came onto him and pushed him down and his head was bleeding.
Well, I don't believe that we've had any indication or evidence that there were 75 stab wounds. The man's body was found near another neighbor's property with duct tape around his hands, legs, and nose and mouth, I believe is what it was. And in an advanced decomposition is the way the body was found.
Okay.
You gotta be careful with the gallery over there. They'll say just about anything.
I know I'm here late and I apologize for that. Just got back home from out of town. I assumed that they knew a little bit more than I did.
Yeah, you'll have that with our gallery. Love them to death, though. Really do. Notice how the investigator is not. It appears that he's being consoling now, right? Bruce Wayne, this investigator's consoling him for kind of being a good boy and owning up to what he's done. He's admitted to killing the man.
Yeah, it does seem like they came in hard and now they're backing off a bit, trying some different tactics. That seems to be working.
Okay. Jason, are they backing off a little bit?
Yeah, they're going soft now. They're letting him talk. I was way off, but they're gonna try to get as much information out of him as they can at this point and just slow it down. He made the confession, and now they got to put the pieces together.
Yeah, they've taken a softer tact, but I don't believe they're slowing down. This investigator he's smooth too. He's laying it down. He's not letting him off. Okay, now you've killed him. I'm gonna give you a minute. Let me get you some water. I'm not gonna get you anything. I'm gonna keep you there now. And what did you do next? And so he's putting the pieces together. So this confession, in my mind, would stand up in court because he's giving details now. But I think this investigator's not letting off the gas at all. Any more comments before we go back to it and see how this turns out? I'll take that as a no. Here we go.
How did you take him over there?
The truck.
Did you use anything to cover him up?
What do you mean covering up?
Like, I know he was wrapped up, but did you have him in like any type of trash can or anything like that, just in the back? What time did you take him down there?
I don't know. It was in the evening.
In the evening? Were your kids gone already at this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, like I said, it was important you told me that. Yeah. Did Charles ever try coming on to you before?
No, he's always nice to me. But he always put his hand on my shoulder and stuff and talk to me. But
I get it. Did you know he was into that lifestyle? Where did this happen in the house?
Right there in the living room. Right around by the couch. Right here towards the doorway. Right there by the kitchen.
Okay. What did he hit his head on, by the way? His house is a mess. That's the thing he could have, yeah.
I don't know.
Where's his dog at?
I don't know where the dog is.
Did you put the dog outside or anything like that?
No.
Was the dog there that night?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't know where the dog's at either. Did he ever ask for help or anything like that? Was he out cold when he fell? Did you think about calling an ambulance?
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
I panicked and ran. Went home.
Did you tell your wife?
She doesn't know. Dude's gonna kill her. She doesn't know anything about this. She wasn't involved at all. Okay.
I completely understand.
I'm being dead honest. She had nothing to do with it.
Did anybody help you with moving Charles?
No.
There was a shovel found on scene. Did you plan on trying to bury him?
Shovel?
Yeah.
No. It's not my shovel.
That's just like coincidental, I guess.
Yes.
Like I said, Calvin, these things happen.
No.
I understand where irrational choices were made, boss.
No, it shouldn't happen. I've been good all my life.
Just that one
Calvin,
time.
You're not a bad person.
Yeah, I'm a bad person.
Calvin, look at me. Not a bad person, man.
Really? I didn't help you. I left him.
How long did it take, again, until you left him there for what, 2 days? Sunday night till Tuesday? Why did it take you so long?
I
couldn't go back.
How'd you feel when you went over there?
Disgusted, sick, sad. Sad for a whole lot of reasons. 2 families are hurt.
I completely understand that, man.
No, you don't. You'd have done the right thing.
Calvin, I don't know what I would have done. I ain't knocking you on it, okay?
No, I know what I should have did. And I didn't. Should have called for help.
Does anybody else know about this?
Nobody knows.
Did you get rid of any other of Charles' stuff anywhere?
I haven't touched any of his stuff. The checkbook and the keys he gave to us. His car key, the reason I still had it when we sold the trailer, he had a doctor's appointment that day. And me and Donald had to move the car. And I had it, it's been sitting there. The keys were if he lost his other set. And the checks he brought over to me in case he lost his wallet again. You can check all the checks and nothing's been touched.
I understand. Like I said, and I know it's a crappy situation entirely. Is there anything, Calvin, that you can do to help us with anything that we need to locate or anything the family might need to know or anything like that?
No, everything's in the house.
I said, Calvin, just a shitty situation that went bad.
Okay, professionals. Do we think we have the story yet? This is it, right?
I'm going to go with no. I'm not yet.
Okay, Lamar?
Yeah, I was going to defer to the collective because I know I missed the first hour, but it seems like he was able to get him to break on the fact that he did it, and a little bit of detail about how it happened with him pushing him on the ground. But then, to your point, if there's a lot missing in my mind, connecting the dots in between, pushed him down, he's bleeding, twitching, waited 5 minutes, goes away 2 days, doesn't come back here, disgusted. How the heck do we get to he's found the way he was found? That's what's missing in my mind.
Right, investigators has pulled the we'll call it metadata out of him. You know, this is what happened, this is what I did next kind of thing in a rough timeline, but I don't think we have the full story. B saying it's interesting how a crime of passion is, I guess, is categorized second degree or less. So let's take that point. Do we think this is a crime of passion?
We don't know yet. It could be something he mentioned earlier, money stuff too. This could be and the money keeps coming up. That's interesting to me.
Okay. Rude's saying this would be some sort of a prosecutor's discretion. Maybe, but I mean, the prosecutor is going to make the discretion is going to be bound and guided by the elements of the offense, I think. Okay, let's get back to it.
Not bad. It went worse. It was horrible.
Calvin, you're not a bad person, okay?
Yeah, I am now.
Calvin, look at me. Stop looking down. All right? You have to understand in a situation like this is that you just made a bad choice, okay? Everybody makes mistakes.
Just like the first when I slapped that guy, it was the same thing.
Spontaneous incident.
Yeah.
When you pushed Charles...
I pushed him hard.
You did? You have no idea what he hit his head on?
I don't know if it was the coffee table or the side of the entertainment center.
That's correct, Rude. He was duct taped. Hands, feet, and nose and mouth.
The blood that was in the living room, next to the living room?
That's where he hit.
I rolled over right there.
What about the blood in the other room, where he was dragged?
This is where I took him 2 days later.
Listen, Calvin, you're not a bad person.
That's bad.
You made mistakes, okay?
Let's talk about the pauses. Are those intentional, or nobody just has anything to say? Jason or Lamar?
Yeah, I think he's drawing them out. If they haven't hinted at the fact that there's a disconnect between what he's already said and how they found the victim, I think it's given him a little bit of time to stew. And I think Jason said this earlier. It's not like they necessarily have to rush too much because they have the confession. It's just they can now take their time and pull the details out of this guy.
Yeah, I agree. You guys call it stewing. I call it you gotta let him bake for a bit. A whole lot going on inside this guy's head. He's coming to grips with a lot of things which are the consequences or something he's been living with for at least some days. Jason, what do you think?
I still feel a void here. I'm more of a motive guy. I like to figure out why did you do this, and I think maybe the pause is thinking what direction do I go here based on what he said, because the mode has changed and he's still in investigation mode. He's still gathering information and trying to put together a solid case. So I think the pause is probably a combination of letting the guy kind of sit there and think about what he just said, and him trying to figure out what direction do I go with my next statement.
No, I agree. I think the pauses are tactical. It gives an opportunity to not take the pressure off, but not necessarily keep driving the knife into the chest as you go. And it also gives the appearance that you have some compassion. This investigator may have zero compassion for this guy sitting in the seat. He's doing his job. But it also gives the appearance that you have some compassion and you're respectful of the grief that you recognize the grief that they're going through, which could be beneficial continue to talk. All right, no one else has anything to say. Let's continue.
I want you to know the story and what you've told us took a lot of courage. Calvin, look at me.
What?
That way the family has closure to what happened, okay?
What about my family?
This isn't the end of the world, Calvin.
My daughter was already talking about suicide and stuff. My wife's tried once before we got together. What if she does? I'm used to kids with her.
Do you know your wife's number by heart?
I call her right now.
Calvin, you sit tight for me, okay?
Can I drink of water, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me go get you one, okay? You want coffee either?
I don't like coffee.
I believe me, I'm trying to cut it out of my diet. Sit tight, okay, Calvin? And like I said, even though you've helped us by telling us your side of the story, it's important that we get all the details and understand, especially, between you and Charles, relationship. I'm not saying it like in that sense, but like, how did you see precursors to him doing this to you and all that?
No, other than, like I said, just every time he talked to me, he put his hand on my shoulder.
Like I said, Calvin, first thing I would like to start with off the beginning, did Calvin call you over to the house, or did you call him and tell him you were bringing him food on Sunday night?
Just every time we cooked out on the grill, we took him a plate of food.
Alright, so Sunday night, you were cooking food, and you always bring it over.
Every time we cook out, we always take him a plate, or if we cook a big Sunday dinner, we always take him a plate of food on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. So you guys brought the food over, or you brought the food over and your wife stayed at the house. How long were you in the house?
Maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes? And while you were in the house, how did he approach you?
Come on in.
And when you were inside the house, how did he come on to you?
Walked into the kitchen with the food and set it down, and when I came around, we were talking, he went like this and leaned in.
Where was he trying to kiss you at?
I mean, I'm taller than him. He was right in here. Just did that.
After you pushed him, and you said you pushed him hard, right?
Yeah. From the kitchen door into the living room. He bang. He rolled over.
Was there a lot of blood or only a little bit of blood?
Just a little bit. I didn't know what to do. I was panicking and staying around, and then I just left.
And then, like, when your kids were leaving with your wife, did you want her to go?
I'm surprised he let that
push her
slip.
and more
Mark,
go
sorry to
faster
interrupt,
and
bro.
stuff because you knew what happened?
There's
Or was that already planned?
She was planning
There was
on
something
leaving
we
first.
always called timeline gaps.
The kids wanted her to leave.
And the story about
And
the interaction
they wanted
to the
to leave
push.
last week.
So the kids were supposed to go with him, her to begin with?
Yeah, there's no. I haven't wanted to watch them all day.
And once your wife and them left, they left on Tuesday, that is correct, right? And on Tuesday, you said during the evening, you mind going over the process of what happened? Just so we...
Say that again, Lamar. Timeline.
I
gap.
apologize for interrupting. It just jumped out to me. I'm surprised the Gator kind of let him gloss through that. So, I mean, he got him to the point of he gave this kind of odd answer to, who called over who, and he said, well, we always take him a plate on Sunday after we cook. And then he jumped around, and one of the things that we would always key in on is something called timeline gaps. It's when someone's telling a story, they provide detail about some parts, and then they gloss over other parts. And those were always indicators of deception. So we would key in on that, like, hey, go back. What happened between this step and that step? But the investigator just kind of let it slide, and I found that a little odd.
I think sometimes you make notes of these things, and then you come back and you circle back around on them, kind of catching them by surprise. With inconsistencies, and something that you see with criminal defendants is that you've heard me say this before, they circle around the truth. It's kind of like a dog before they lay down. They're going to do a lot of circles. They do a lot of circles before they're actually going to lay down on their story. I think there's more going to it. I'll be frank. I don't know that I buy his story that I went over there. He surprised me with this kiss or this advance, and I reacted in passion, just like I slapped the other guy. He even said this. It's just reaction. I didn't really mean to kill the guy. I think there's more to it than that. I think that I think his neighbor knew. They had way too much contact. They knew each other way too well. There was a lot going on between this guy and the victim. More than I'll bring you over a plate of food every now and then.
I agree with you 100%. And one of the things I'm keying in on, he is maintaining a stress position, which you would think that he would have relaxed even a little bit after he essentially confessed. But the fact that he's still leaning in with certain body language tells me he's still hiding quite a bit.
Jason?
The one thing that you talk about, circle back, and I think you're exactly right, and it goes back to the theft from vehicles, the tire puncturing. A more logical explanation to me is maybe Charles confronted him when he came into his house for stealing from him, and a fight ensued. I'm not really buying the whole he came onto me thing. To me, that's what he wants people to believe. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, but the information was brought up front that I'm a motive guy. What really happened here, and I'm not buying his story right now.
I think neighbor interviews, I think the investigators have kind of tilted towards this a little bit. I think neighbor interviews are going to have revealed that this victim didn't hide his escapades as far as being that way and dressing that way. So it would be almost impossible to believe that this guy who had a very close relationship with the guy, remember I bring him food every time, but if you listen, he's done more than that. They've helped out when he was hospitalized. He knows his schedule. They're very good friends, which leads me to believe that a sexual advance wouldn't have been so shocking, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, look, if I've got a gay neighbor, whether I'm gay or not, and I go visit my gay neighbor and he makes an advance on me, then I'm like, well, I knew my neighbor was gay. It wouldn't be shock me. I mean, I put it in its place pretty quick and explain how I feel about things. But I don't think it's I don't think his shock. And I'll agree with Lamar. He's still carrying a story. He has not unloaded himself yet. Let's get back to it.
Have a full painted picture.
And then I wrapped him up with a tarp, and that's when I drug him out.
Well, let's do this from the very beginning, if you can help me with that, okay? Starting on Sunday, okay? I don't want you to have to keep reliving this box. All right, Calvin? I really do want you to know that. I don't want you to have to keep reliving this because I know you're not a bad person, okay?
I have to relive it the rest of my life.
Sunday after...
Kids are going to have to live it the rest of their life. They're going to have to grow up knowing. Everybody's going to know how hard for them.
After it happened Sunday, what did you do? Just go home?
I went home and washed my hands. I sat in the bathroom about 10 minutes. I didn't know what to do. And we had made plans to go out, and we went out. And I just drank and drank and drank and drank. It wouldn't go away in my head.
You came home?
Stayed up for a while and went to sleep. Got up, did my normal thing with the kids, took them.
Did you already have that tarp? Or did you go out and buy it?
We bought it.
I guess because it's Ozark from Walmart?
Yes, sir.
Which little Walmart did you buy it at?
Navy.
Which is on Monday?
Maybe Monday. Tuesday.
Maybe Monday or Tuesday. The duct tape, did you buy that or was it already something you had?
It was at Charles's house.
Did you purchase anything else while you were at the store other than the tarp?
Just stuff for the house.
What day did you bring Charles over to that area?
Last night.
So last night? You used your truck, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you at any time use Charles's truck?
No, sir.
How did you know to bring him there?
Because I've been called to a leak there.
So you were called to a leak there, and you just thought it was maybe a good spot because of...
Just vacant.
Yeah. In the back of your truck, the drywall was there, obviously. And the inside of the bathroom, you know, the tiling. Was that left there accidentally, or did that slide out? Like,
Set it out on the side.
set it out on the
Just
side?
left it.
Did you just forget to pick it up?
Didn't think to do it. I wasn't thinking.
The straps, the tie straps that were out there?
I'm not sure what you're thinking. Is it rope?
Yeah, it's like rope, orange rope.
That rope. Now that you tell me, the rope, you know that trash can?
Yeah.
I couldn't move it. The reason that rope is there is I actually tied that trash can to my truck and drug it to the street.
Oh, okay.
So whatever you found out there was the stuff that was dangling off my truck.
Okay, so that's was for you're pulling the trash can. Okay. Did you try moving Charles farther or anything, or was it just like, were you just probably were in a moment of distress, you know?
I didn't know what to do. I know what I should have did.
You know, we can all sit back and try quarterbacking ourselves. You know how many mistakes everybody in this damn world makes? You know what I mean?
I should have made this one. I try to do what I can for everybody.
Calvin. You remember what time this all happened, Calvin? Yesterday? I know you said it was evening.
Midnight.
So it was midnight? After you dropped Charles off over there off Idlewood, what did you do after that?
Just went home.
You didn't stop anywhere?
No.
When you got home, what did you do?
Stayed awake. Just sat there. In my room in the dark.
You woke up the next morning, today. What'd you do?
Hardly anything. Went to the store twice.
What'd you get at the store?
A pair of shorts, shirt, diffuser, some lunch.
Did you ever try cleaning up the house or anything?
Didn't want to go back.
Did you clean out your truck at all? You didn't spray it down or anything?
Just with a water hose, rinsed it out.
Did you do that today?
Yes, sir.
The gentleman who he showed you a picture of, the black guy who's been living with you, He didn't have any knowledge of what was going on?
No, sir. He's just staying there. Him and his girlfriend were fighting. We knew him when we lived on Girl Anyway, and he needed a place to stay. He just happened to come at the wrong week. No one knows.
Like I said, Calvin, I don't want you to beat yourself up in this situation.
Why? Why shouldn't I?
Because I don't think you're a bad person. Okay.
Okay, for time's sake, I'm going to advance this through. We'll have to hit the top of the hour because we have a party or an X space we're going to crash immediately afterwards. So let's get back until the sergeant comes back into the room. See if things change.
I'm going to hand you this first, so I'm going to give you some prime time, okay? I want you to pour your heart and soul into it, man. All right, that sound fair? This is the one I want you to write for their family, okay?
Yes, sir.
And this is going to be the one for your wife and kids. I know it's going to be an emotional roller coaster, okay? So you don't have to do any of this, but I understand it brings a lot of closure, okay? I'll be back, all right?
What's this tactic? Write a letter to the victim's family and your family?
Well, we would use this a different way. So for subjects that were a little bit more tight-lipped,
okay.
If you had them write out exactly what happened, we could identify those timeline gaps, like I said before, where even in writing, people will provide a little bit more detail on certain aspects, typically the things that are not necessarily that important, and gloss over things that are, and that would help us identify where we needed to re-engage.
It's an interesting tactic. If I could get someone to write an apology letter for killing someone and I'm conducting an investigation, I would take it. Wouldn't you take it, Jason?
Also kind of a covert way of getting a written confession.
That exactly. In your own words, you wrote. I mean, every bit of this is going to be admissible, for sure. All right, let's advance through some of this.
Getting him to roll up. I had to use that to roll him up.
Why around the mouth?
I don't know.
Did you check if Charles was breathing at all?
He wasn't breathing. He was already swelled up.
Okay. And when Charles was first bound and you put him into that the tarp, how did you get him to your truck without, obviously the neighbors or anybody seeing?
To the backyard.
Did you put him over the fence? Did you, in that process, because we noticed in the backyard there was a bend, did you rip the tarp a little bit too? And when you were putting it over it?
I don't know.
So, when you put him in the tarp, you dragged him through the house, I'm assuming?
Yes, sir.
And you went to the backyard, dragged him through the backyard, and you put him over the fence.
Yes, sir.
What about, did you use the other lot, that empty lot next to his house for anything?
No.
When you raked the yard, is there any reason why you raked the yard?
Drag more.
So you dragged him from your backyard?
Through the garage.
Through the garage? And then through the garage to your truck?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know this could be hard for you, but we did have to notify your wife what's going on. But she does want to talk to you. I know you said you didn't want to. It would be hard to. Okay? But I think it's only fair that you talk to her too. I'll make sure that this gets to her, and this will get to the family, okay? I do have to stand in the room though.
It's fine.
You know your wife's number?
He made a pass at me and I pushed him and he fell. Hit his head, blood went everywhere, and I panicked.
Why would you not say something? Like, why would it was an accident, Calvin?
I don't know, Wendy, I panicked.
Calvin.
I know, I don't know, Wendy. I'm so sorry for what I'm putting you and the kids through.
A problem with his story. He just told his wife the blood went everywhere. He told the cop there was a little bit of blood.
Yeah, that's a little inconsistent for sure.
I'm so sorry.
What about Tina?
What about Tina?
Be honest, Calvin.
I didn't have anything to do with Tina. That was all Billy.
How do you know?
It had to be Billy. I didn't have anything to do with it.
Like, why would you, oh my God, Calvin, like, why would you not have called 911? It was an accident.
That's what I don't know, Wendy. The blood, and he was moaning.
What do you mean he made a pass at you?
He tried to kiss me.
What?
He, I don't know. Can I tell her?
Anything you want to tell her?
He's plays on the other fence. He's a cross-dresser.
But, so what are you being charged with right now?
I don't know, Wendy. Probably, I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, Calvin. I'm gonna leave the kids down here. I'm gonna go get your dad and I'm gonna come home.
Say again, Jason.
He's still in self-preservation mode right now. He's not being honest. I'm not buying his story still.
Yeah, for sure. I see it though. Does anybody see it different on the panel? Grizz, B. Wayne, Lamar?
No, I agree. I think he's hiding a alternative lifestyle relationship from his wife.
Grizz, B. Wayne, you want to chime in on that?
I was going to speculate that the motive was the daughter, that the guy had raped the daughter or made a pass at the daughter, but it could be that he's hiding the lifestyle, yeah.
Yeah, the pass at the daughter would have been an easier story to sell, I think, than he tried to kiss me. So I don't know if there's any validity to that other than speculation. B. Wayne, what do you think?
That's definitely not what I expected. But no, I agree. I think he is hiding something else. I don't know what that is. Him being part of that, in on it, I guess a willing participant is likely, but I do agree that he's still hiding something.
Or sure, let's listen to Lamar on this call.
I called an ambulance.
I should have, Wendy. I should have.
Yes, you should have, Calvin. I understand being scared, but I mean, accidents happen. This could have, oh my God, this could have been avoided, Calvin.
I love you. We'll love the kids. Hug them and kiss them.
I will. I'm gonna go eat your dad. We're gonna come home. What?
They let me write a little letter to you. It's not much. I cannot. He's gonna give it to you, but I love y'all so much. I'm so sorry that y'all are going to have to go through this.
Okay. I don't know what to do. Me and your dad will come home, see if we can get an attorney. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We'll get it figured out.
I love you.
I love you too. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the house and oh my God, can you ask him what you're gonna be charged with? So that I can at least try to call an attorney.
He has to talk to the supervisor.
State.
To the state.
Just okay.
They don't know yet.
Okay. So you
can tell her.
when will they know? When can I find anything out?
I'll give her a call here shortly.
The detective will call you shortly.
Okay.
You want to say goodbye now? Because
I love you. I've got to go. I love you so much.
I love you too. I love you.
Bye. Oh my God.
I'm gonna stand on that. Turn around, put your hands behind your back for us.
You don't have anything in your pockets, do you?
My wallet.
Okay.
There's our show. He was convicted on both murder and theft, robbery. What he did disclose in during this interview or give an explanation for was the 3 ATM withdrawals from the dead man's bank account after he was deceased, and possession of his wallet and his checkbook that he was unauthorized to have as well. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison in the state of Florida for the murder of John Locke. John Charles Locke, I believe, is what his full name is. They called him Charles in the video. But interesting tactics, don't you think, Lamar, Jason, Grizz, and B1? You guys can pitch in on this too. Interesting tactic, though, no?
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm going to put you guys on time. I need 3 minutes at the top of the show, or at the end of the show out. But go ahead.
I'll be quick. I'm still a little bit surprised that they let some of that stuff gloss over, but I think if they had enough, especially with the phone call to his wife and the confession note, they were good to go.
I think it's solid conviction. I think they got enough evidence out of his verbal confession to be able to go prove that what he was saying was true. Wouldn't you agree, Jason? Or what's your summation of this whole deal?
No, what you said, second degree?
I didn't say a degree. He was just convicted on murder and life in prison. I imagine life in prison would be a first degree if you have degrees in your state.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said second. No, I like the good cop, bad cop technique. I thought he fooled me, to be honest. I thought there was a little more rage involved in this, but again, I'm the fact that he got charged with theft and financial crimes. I think that might have been the motive to it, but I thought they did a good job.
I think it was
triangle table.
If they had the triangle table, they could cut some time saver. It's a man-hour saver. Every department should invest in this. But I think they did. I think they came in with a good idea of what physical evidence, and through interviews had a good idea and brought this guy in and closed the deal. He didn't give it all up in the interview, but he gave up enough to put him in the hot seat, and they were able to get a conviction. All right, folks, we're at the bottom end of our show. I've got one more entity to promote, and that is our promotion of the 3D Response School Safety System. Jason is actually the inventor. Him and his partners put the system together. It is revolutionary, and it should be in every school that we have. It would absolutely be a game changer for any mass casualty events that could occur at your child's school. But let's watch this. .3dresponse.com. It's a real quick search. Look into this system, then let your legislators, your school board members know that this needs to be in your child's school. It absolutely is a game changer. Using my experience in law enforcement and military experience, I've never seen a system like this, and I'm kind of surprised somebody hadn't come up with this sooner because it's ingenious and it keeps it simple. KISS. It keeps it simple. Stupid. Folks, that's our show. A little different tonight for you guys on X. We're going to pub chat. I'll push it out in the in my DMs. If anybody wants a direct invite to it, shoot me a DM and I'll get you over to it. But we're going to crash the pub chat. The whole pub chat cast is coming to our Friday night police video review show, and they will be our 5-member grand jury. It's going to be a heck of a show on Friday, and it's probably going to get out of hand knowing these pub chat guys. But this is a hostile takeover, but we're going to return the favor tonight by crashing their space. I'll see you guys there.
You ever get any money from Costello?
No.
And did you ever get any money from Meyer Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
None
fellas?
of those fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, or none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Fichettes?
No. I don't even speak to the... I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him.
You don't like him?
I was conscious of the fact that he had a reputation for being an outstanding bookmaker.
You ever hear him referred to as the Prime Minister of the Underworld?
That time I did not.
You're also known as Duck Corella.
I refuse to answer on the grounds of an attempt to
Got any business?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of attempted criminal.
You have any profession?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of made
You have any occupation?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of made
Are you a known racketeer?